Hi, this is Jason Nickleby, Coordinator of Officials with the Minnesota State High School League, and this is Football Officiating Training Tape number 6. Going to take a look at back judge mechanics primarily this week. Take a look at positioning, mechanics, philosophy. Put yourself in the position of the official or the crew and decide what you would do with these plays. Again, not picking on any one team, crew, or official, just trying to get better after looking at these plays and what we would do with them if they happen in our games. So with that, let's take a look at a few plays. On this first play, I want to take a look at the back judge mechanics. I think it's an excellent example of what we're looking for. First of all, good initial position. Remember, we're roughly 20 yards from the line of scrimmage. Doesn't have to be exact, just in the neighborhood. It's 3rd and 10, so it's a likely pass play, so we might have to cheat backwards a little bit more, maybe 21, 22, depending on the quarterback play, receiver play. But in this case, good initial position, and then we take our read step, one step back, read, run, or pass, and then we can go into a back pedal. We don't need to back pedal right away on a running play. Make sure that you stay close so you can officiate and help out at the line of scrimmage. In this case, clearly a pass. We read that, go into a back pedal, and then I like how we turn our hips and run when we know that the receiver is going to gain ground on us. So don't stay in your back pedal forever. We have to turn our hips and run at some point. The athletes are faster than us running forward than we are backwards, so we need to turn our hips at some point. But you can see the cushion in the replay, maintains a great cushion, has a good view, turns his hips and runs, and keeps everything in front of him. So just excellent mechanics by the back judge. This is exactly what we're looking for. Good initial position, good read of pass, excellent cushion, turning our hips and run, and then officiating the play to its conclusion. Well done by the back judge on this play. Okay, on this play, let's talk mechanics and philosophy of measurements. You'll see in this clip pretty early in the first quarter, doesn't really hurt anything to have a measurement if it's close. No team is gaining a clock advantage so that they can come up with a play at this point. So we don't need to show them how smart we are. If it's that close, go ahead and call for a measurement. Now, what I would say philosophy-wise, line of scrimmage officials and umpires, make sure that we are putting the ball on a big line to start a series, especially when it's at this point of the field. If we're inside the 5-10 yard line, even the 15, if we need to be a little bit more fine on the placement of the football, that's totally fine. That's probably what we should be doing. But when we're out in the middle of the field, if at all possible, make it easy on yourself. Put the ball on a big yard line. Now, big yard line does not mean round it up to the 40 or round down to the 30. It means put the nose of the football on the 34 or the back end of the football on the 34. Some distinguishing mark where you can easily tell if the team makes the line to gain. So we don't have to have measurements that don't need to happen. So make sure that we put the ball on a big line if we can in these kinds of situations. So you see we have a measurement here. We're in good position. Our mechanics are exactly what we want them to be. So line judge, you have your toe on that yard line where the clip is going to be. Head linesman's bringing the chains in from his side with the clip, holding tight to that clip so we don't lose it. Umpire will take the line to gain stick and pull that tight and place it on the ground. Back judge is holding the football so that it doesn't move. And then finally, referee will make the judgment. Now, our mechanics are really good for everyone involved here. The only thing I would say, just something to consider, to clean up on, is let's make sure that we get the coaches and others back from the measurement, from the line to gain stake. So in this case, you see that the coach is standing right there by the line to gain stake. We need to move him and anyone else back, A, so the referee can see, B, so the TV cameras can see what we're dealing with as it relates to a measurement, and then thirdly, we need to have them out of there, because if the referee comes up with a decision that's different than what the coach thinks, it's not going to be a good situation if we allow him to stand there and give us his input on the measurements. So we need to move everybody back. That includes moving the offense back so that you can bring the chains out without running them over. That doesn't happen here, but just something else to consider. And then line of scrimmage official on the offensive side of the ball, I would grab another football if you can, so that we can get a ball down if it's a first down a little bit quicker. If we are short, as we are here, then we don't need it, but at least I'd be ready to get that on the field. And then when we bring the chains out to the hash mark to put it down, remember, referees, hold tight to that spot, bring the football with you, okay? And then we'll have the umpire and the head linesman bring their aspect of the chains out to that spot, put it back down, and then the chains can go off the field and set up again. So again, mechanically, well done here by the crew. Just a couple things philosophy-wise. Try to put the ball on a big yard line, then we know that they made the line to gain and we don't have to have needless measurements. And then the second thing is, let's move everybody away from the stakes so that we can have a clear shot of the stakes for TV and then for other viewers of the game. And then again, the crew did really well mechanically with their mechanics on the measurement, and make sure that when we're doing measurements that we clearly need to do it. On turf fields, a lot easier to tell. If it's a grass field, you might have to have more measurements. But overall, well done mechanically by the crew. Okay, scrimmage kick here. Mechanics, really good. Good initial position by the crew. I like where the umpire is at. Referee, line of scrimmage, we're off about a yard, so we're good there. And then back judge, good position to view this first touching here. You see the beanbag, and then we kill the clock, and then we bring the ball back to the spot of that first touching, as you see the beanbag there about the 29-yard line. So well done mechanically, very, very good coverage wise. This is why back judges, you have two beanbags so that you can cover the first touching aspect, and then also fumbles after the kick is over. So well done coverage wise, mechanically. I just like how we handled this very calmly, in good position to view it, and then ultimately put it in the correct location. So back judges, make sure that when we shade to the head linesman side of the field, that we are in position to view touching like this. So we might have to cut to the inside, might have to cut to the outside. We're in good position here, but just keep that in mind that you might have to adjust so that you can see the first touching. But I like our mechanics and our philosophy on this play. Okay, in this play, 4 minutes ago, tight game, 4th and inches. A play we really need to focus on, and I like that we have excellent focus as a crew. We don't get caught off guard by the encroachment and call something that's not there. I know it seems like a simple play, but these are plays that we can really get in trouble with if we don't really focus in and make sure that we catch the action that happens first. So clearly encroachment by the defense, properly called by the officials. Make sure we get this information to the referee a little bit quicker. I know it seems obvious, but make sure that we have the same thing and then get it to the referee. We have a really good announcement here by the referee.
Defense, number 29, a 5-yard penalty.
It's one of the hardest things as a
Only thing I would say, referee, just come to a stop a little bit quicker, and then you can get into your announcement. But your announcement is excellent, very calm, under control, announces the offending player's number, and then also includes 5 yards results in a first down. So if you listen to the announcement, you'll hear that the referee indicates that this penalty will result in a first down. So we need to know that in advance, that 5 yards will get you 1. So have that communication with your line of scrimmage officials so that referees, when you go into your announcement, you don't have to turn around and look at the chains or stop your announcement mid-announcement to figure out if the penalty will get you a first down if your line of scrimmage officials are communicating that information to you in advance. So make sure you know what that signal is. If you have O2O, you can say 5 will get you 1 or whatever your crew wants to do, but make sure we have that information in advance. But overall, excellent focus and mechanics. Get the foul information to the referee a little bit quicker so that he can get into the announcement and we can get on with the game. And then finally, an excellent announcement by the referee. Okay, long pass play here on this play. I want to talk mechanics, philosophy, and then foul reporting. So first of all, back judge is in excellent position. He's at the goal line in case that line is threatened. Rules on the contact with the receiver that we have a foul for defensive pass interference. And then I like that we have a signal of incomplete, so we officiate all the way through the end of the play. And then we give the preliminary signal with direction to the referee and then finally report the foul information to the referee. So just really well done mechanically, positioning wise. We got some hand fighting. I think number 25 has a handful of the jersey of the receiver if you look on that replay. So not totally commenting on the judgment here. I think it's pass interference. Typically if we have 4 hands going for the ball, we're usually good. Because both players have an equal right to the football. In this case, I think 25 has a fistful of jersey, not allowing number 11 his full ability to go after the football. So I'm really good with the foul here. I just wanted to comment on our positioning and our mechanics, which I think are excellent. We're at the goal line to rule on that line if it's threatened. Then we rule on the contact. We signal incomplete pass, which is the result of the play. It's not a huge mistake, but something that we do pretty commonly is we signal stop the clock, which is fine. The clock's going to stop, but we really should signal incomplete passes. That's more accurate. And then finally, the preliminary signal to the referee to give the referee a chance to process what happened so that he can get into a more effective announcement. So just really well done positioning-wise, mechanics, officiate through the end of the play, preliminary signal. Only other thing to add is if we have multiple flags, we don't want to do a preliminary signal until we've communicated with the other calling official. In this case, only 1 flag, so we signal incomplete, preliminary signal to the referee, and then give the referee the full foul and penalty information. So really well done by the back judge on this mechanically, and then positioning mechanics overall. This play here, 2nd and 11, 21-yard line, right hash. So make sure as a crew we review our mechanics, 20-yard line and in, 15, 10, 5, and so on. What we're doing initial position-wise, and then what we do after the ball is snapped. So in this case, the crew is in very good initial position, and then we react well to the developing play. So back judges, again, 20 yards roughly, so we'll be at the goal line to begin this play, and then we can read pass, and then we have to be as deep as the deepest, which is what the back judge does here. This is excellent mechanics, very good positioning. We're on the end line to rule on this play. We're stationary, and then I like that we allow the receiver to show us the football, and then we go up with touchdown. No hurry. We don't need to call it a touchdown this very second. A touchdown now is a touchdown 10 seconds from now. So excellent initial position, excellent mechanics by the crew, in particular the back judge at the end line, stationary for this play, and then a good patient ruling of touchdown. So 20-yard line, read pass, and then adjust. So excellent job by the back judge. On this play, I want to talk mechanics, what we're looking for as it relates to pass interference and our coverages. So you'll see we have a rollout to the top of the screen, and we're going to have a a pass attempt that 13 comes in and breaks up successfully for an incomplete pass. So first thing, our initial mechanics are very good. We're in position to view this. Back judge, you're going to have to shift your eyes to this play so we can help. And philosophy-wise and judgment-wise, when it comes to pass interference, if you can see 4 hands playing the ball or making a play for the ball, you're probably in good shape. It's when one hand is missing that it's suspect. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a foul all the time, but if you're missing a hand, then you need to know what that hand's up to. Is it grabbing? Is it pushing, pulling? If so, then we might have an issue, arm bar, those kinds of things. If we have 4 hands going for the ball, we're probably in good shape almost all the time. Now in this case, you can see that his left hand makes the play for the ball, the defensive player that is. His right hand doesn't really make a play for the ball, but it isn't wrapping, it isn't turning, it isn't pulling, there isn't an arm bar, any restriction. So this is a really nice defensive play by number 13, and we allow him to do that by not calling a foul, so that's good. The only other thing I would say, mechanically, coverage, because of some of the contact at the end, not enough for a foul for unnecessary roughness, but it does take him into the opponent's bench area. We need to vacate our spot, line of scrimmage officials, and back judge, you need to come from where you're at, and we need to get into that bench area and get that opposing player out of the bench area. If it's his own bench, we can probably leave him there, but in this case, it's into the opponent's bench, so we need to get over there, especially on an incomplete pass where the spot doesn't matter. We're going to go back to the previous spot anyways, so we need to get down and get him out of the bench area to make sure that nothing happens to him on the way out. And once we clear players, then we can worry about the football or what we're doing with the next down. So I like our philosophy, our coverage. Just mechanically, let's try to get down and get this guy out of the bench area before something happens. Nothing does, but we just want to make sure that nothing does happen by having a presence. But well done, judgment and mechanics, philosophy-wise, by the crew. Okay, that will do it for training tape number 6. Again, hopeful that these plays are helpful for your crew as you're going through the week and discussing philosophy and mechanics, positioning, and just how we would handle these kinds of plays or similar in our game. So hoping that the games are going well for you. We've heard a lot of good reports of great officiating, and that's great. Keep up the good work. We'll have one more tape next week, and then we'll be off with the rest of the year in the postseason. So good luck this Friday, and we'll talk to you next week.